Hello everyone and welcome to the Legacy Challenge here at Grey Ogre Games. It's a wonderful Saturday afternoon. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts alongside Benjamin Huang.
Hello.
Hey, it's a good Saturday afternoon. It's not too bright, it's not
Yeah.
too hot.
It was kind of warm when I went for lunch.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's Singapore, right?
Yeah, it
but
is
unless
kinda
it's raining,
Singapore.
it's either warm or wet.
It's true.
Alright,
So yeah, we have Legacy. It's our
Yep.
Legacy challenge, a follow up to our win a box of EMA.
oh yeah, that
last
was
month.
Last month. It was
And-
also called Legacy Challenge, right?
Yeah. Because people,
Yeah.
are thinking about the naming convention.
Yeah.
Today we have a Force of Will.
Yeah, oh nice.
Because Legacy players are shrewd investors. They don't want to buy cards that they can't play with. Packs. So they rather buy the get the exact card that they want, all store credit. We actually see what looks to be a mirror. It's a pseudo mirror, right? Like there's gonna be some slight changes, I think.
Yeah.
Michael Martin Go, a Filipino player, leading off with Delver, but he has Deathrite Shaman in hand, which was an interesting choice, I think, on his part, not
I
to
think-
lead with the mana development.
Yeah,
Because-
exactly. Like I would go, especially since you've got access to black mana on the first turn,
Yeah.
or black or green mana on the first turn.
And he's bottleneck on lands too. This is his only land. So if his opponent plays like Wasteland, I think he's
might
yeah, but
be.
his opponent plays
some
Cabal
trouble.
Therapy off a Gitaxian Probe, following a Gitaxian Probe, and so I think he got a little bit greedy.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So there is the Wasteland in hand, but
So I
there's
don't
no
really
black
like
source
the way
though.
Glenn played this game. If Glenn Glenn knows what his opponent's hand is, so I probably would have gone for Brainstorm with the Cabal Therapy. Given that
okay, right.
at a much later point in the game, you can then clear the bolts out before you play a threat. Plus, the threats in your hand, the Gurmag Angler, doesn't really...
Not gonna
Yeah.
do much, right?
More
Yeah.
importantly, Michael can't even play the bolts. So
Yeah, that's right.
I think the only choices for me, if I was in Glenn's position, would have been
The
Brainstorm or
Brainstorm.
Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I didn't realize that he had the Brainstorm in hand already. But yeah. Oh yeah. Of course he had. He just
Yeah, yeah,
He
he-
did it on the upkeep.
He saw it with... I don't think he did it on upkeep. I think he flipped naturally and then played the Brainstorm on his main phase. I hope,
Oh.
at least. Because if you're in Michael's position, every card
Counts, right.
every
At
card
this
counts.
point,
Yeah.
At this point, you've like you're 2 cards down.
I don't even like this from Michael.
No.
I don't even like this bolt because I think
We
you can.
started off with like at least the Delver just to give back a bit more pressure.
I think that's one argument. The other thing that I might have considered doing is saving the bolt for the death right that you know is gonna get your opponent out of a mana tight situation. Because now you're gonna have to trade your Force of Will for death right if you want to continue down that route. And if you don't continue down that route, then I don't see a route for you to win. The thing about Delver decks is that like you want to construct a path to victory, right? You don't want to just value your opponent because that's not how your deck plays.
That's right. I
And we saw how how much mana denial exists in between these two decks. The last time we had this tournament, yeah.
Wastelands and recurring wastelands are not very fun for Magic.
Yeah,
the
but Michael
Gathering.
drawing a fetch, so it might play out. It might work out for Glenn. He'll be able to, but still, the death right is great in the mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, just leaning off the left right, like the first turn would have been like really.
I think
great at this
Michael's
point.
thinking about playing a therapy and then playing the
Oh, he's got
Death
therapy in
Shaman.
hand. Okay.
I think he's got a therapy. That's the last card at the back of his hand.
Okay.
Is that a therapy? It looks like a
No,
therapy.
it's a.
It looks like
it's a blue
a
card, right?
no. It looks like a modern Eternal Masters therapy. You know, the
okay,
one with
okay.
the lightning hair.
The one with the lightning hair. All right, so he leads off with his own Delver and strips his opponent of any black mana, but he's got the Flooded Strand.
He's
now,
got the
so he can
flash,
just,
yeah. And he's got a
like
death
point
right,
on
which
it.
is the most important part.
Right, yeah.
And
That can
If
fetch him for
you had
any
chosen to
mana.
go with this line, I might have been tempted to force the death right. Force the death
yeah,
right and waste
that's
your
why I was
opponent.
thinking he was keeping the Gitaxian Probe in hand.
Yeah,
He
to
didn't need
force,
he
yeah.
didn't need the additional information.
it's interesting.
uh,
Yeah, because like last turn, you could have gone Wasteland Gitaxian Probe, and he can't because he had a Volcanic in play, so he can't play the Delver. He can't play the Gurmag Angler.
Yeah, that's right.
The other thing that's really key in this matchup is that you get the Stick Angler.
If your opponent, that's true.
Yeah.
So he might just be saving the Force of Will.
He
for
can
the
kind of go
command,
around you with Young Pyromancer, but I guess he has the force to cover that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But still, like if for example Michael chooses to play Therapy before he plays the Young Pyromancer, nope.
Oh, okay.
But he chooses to. He was greedy. He wanted to get the Pyromancer and then cast the Therapy. And so I think he's gonna get punished for this because Bolt's gonna take care of the
Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite Shaman.
But he's got no mana to cast it.
Oh yeah, he lost the Volt to the Wasteland. Oh, he's gonna be able to play
the Gamma Angler.
Gamma Angler anyway.
Yeah. Upsides.
Yeah.
Always thinking about the silver linings here.
Silver Linings playbook.
Does the deck run Snapcasters? No,
this
I
is
don't
the Silver
believe
Linings
so.
playbook. You know. It doesn't run Snapcasters. You can't because you have Delve. You have Delve and not a lot of mana.
Oh, okay.
Michael's still stuck with the Therapy. The good thing upside is he knows what the card in his opponent's hand is, so he's gonna be able to play Therapy on Bolt. But he's gonna go with Brainstorm instead. I'm not sure I like this.
Is this Brainstorm
right
and end step? No, this is main phase.
Main
right?
phase, yeah. So he's Michael, obviously of the school of thought that you should never brainstorm
when you need to draw. When you are drawing,
unless you really, it's like Kung Fu. You don't need to use Kung Fu until
until really necessary
stuff gets really bad and then you stuff.
Shit hits the fan.
Yeah. I didn't want to use that as well.
There needs to be a T-shirt on that.
Yeah.
Only Kung Fu when shit hits the fan or something to that effect.
I think Michael needs to ponder here and just start looking for some way to answer that Gurmag Angler. You know he's gonna fall behind very quickly.
So he's gonna strip his opponent.
I would ponder. I'd probably ponder. Yeah, I'd ponder and shuffle. Like I think in a heartbeat I would shuffle. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think those 3 cards would do you.
So Michael
any good.
Playing what I think to be playing in a way that's very kind of typical, very normal for this matchup.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
Glenn making some interesting choices and paying out. I think paying off for him. Glenn not having any lands, but he's gonna crash in for 8.
Man, how do you get rid of that Gurmag Angler? Goodness.
You have to match it with your angler of your own. You have Dismember maybe.
Wow.
But you still have to answer the. So that's a good start. He has a Delver. He has a Volcanic, so that's gonna let him. Any bolts are now live. He's gonna play his own angler.
Nice. Okay.
He's gonna be able to play his own angler.
Might want to keep the Young Pyromancer in the graveyard just in case he needs
color guns?
Oh no, but he doesn't have.
He has green in his deck, so you might be right.
Yeah. So you might want to keep that just to be able to stay alive.
Yeah. If I'm Michael, I'm tempted to remove all my instants and sorceries instead of lands.
Oh, why?
Okay, so you'll get to a point where
he's got his own Deathrite Shaman, and that's going to affect you. But
so
I think the number of
and you don't want to remove all your lands either, because that's really one of your main ways of
getting extra mana.
And they might arrive in a situation where you have to cast a second Deathrite, have that Deathrite at green, so you can gain life off the Young Pyromancer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
I don't know. I would have beat in with both creatures. Force the block. You've got your,
he drew a fetch, so he's gonna go to 1 from the attack. Yeah, wow, this is a tough game for because Mike knows about the bolt that's in Glenn's hand.
Yeah. So
anytime when Glenn draws red mana, he's dead. Mike's gonna fetch, but Mike now fetch
for green.
Yeah, for green. So this is gonna let him pull a little bit ahead, but next turn he's still dead anyway. He's gonna fall to 1 on this attack.
Yeah, he can't gain enough life from the Deathrite Shaman.
But now he has access to decay if that's a thing in the deck. But I think it's in the sideboard. So I don't know if he has too many outs, because Glenn has him covered with a Force of Will.
Alright. So the first Young Pyromancer goes out, and he's down to 1, which is
I think
is a bad position to be in.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lands. Of course.
If he had drawn a bolt, you'd be tempted to eat a creature with the Deathrite go up to 3, flashback therapy naming Lightning Bolt, I guess, and then bolt the creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
but you're still dead to.
you still dead to the force of will.
Yeah, you're still dead to the force of will, and you're still dead to like Glenn just drawing red sauce. So it doesn't put you're not in a good position.
Should therapy the force and then hope to fade the red sauce for a while till you find another therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Glenn
can
taking
you flashback the therapy
with the death right?
Yeah.
You can flashback. You sacrifice a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's already cast it. He casted it.
Then you just sacrifice death right to run it again.
Oh no, but I think he shuffled it away with the brainstorm, so he didn't actually play a therapy that game. Which is amazing to me because that's a card that's really, really good in this matchup.
Yeah. Once you, especially since you're running Gitaxian Probes, you get information about the person's hand. Yeah. So let's go to while they're sideboarding, let's understand like what you would try to sideboard in this case. The Cabal Therapy is still, I think, a very important card, especially since you get information of your opponent's hand. I think Cabal Therapy in total, in Legacy and in the older formats, is a very important card because you can, your opponent has to choreograph something. Like everything's just information, which I think if you're a much higher level player than I am, you're able to read what your opponent's doing.
So it looks like Glenn has Strixes that he's not choosing to put in. Oh, he's keeping the Strixes. Yeah. Oh, this is the sideboard. Okay. So he's boarding out his forces, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He's bringing in Strix, Dismember, and one other card. Which is really good because especially if he's like a Cabal Therapy oriented deck, he's gonna be able to keep his opponent off his toes. He's got Dark Blast as well, which is pretty good in this matchup.
Oh, Dark Blast. Okay,
it's actually really good in this matchup because when Gurmit Angler bumps into Gurmit Angler, and you shrink his Gurmit Angler with a Dark Blast.
Oh man, that is painful. Well, if you're not thinking,
and it's one mana, so there's no Daze is not really a play, so you kind of have to force it, which is always rough.
Yeah, but then you can get it back with the dredge.
But you won't make the same mistake twice, I guess. You won't block.
Well, but that's the thing, like having it, knowing that your opponent has it in hand, which means
you can
actually
actually
just swing in for free,
Dark Blast, have your opponent counter it, cast Brainstorm, and then dredge it back. And then recast it if need be. But then it doesn't interact that favorably with your opponent's Deathrite Shaman if he has a Deathrite active.
Damn. Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah. But he has to pull the trigger before the Brainstorm resolves, so there's definitely some play to it.
Is Michael gonna follow the same plan for his sideboard? Well, we don't know what his sideboard is, but
I think Michael's deck looks more traditional. But it could be that they're both on this same version of the Delver deck.
Legacy deck.
Yeah. So we have 5 viewers. Thank you for those of you who are watching.
Yeah.
We're down to down to 1.
No. There's 5 people, but you can only see
the people who are registered,
who are logged in.
Okay.
The other day I also said register. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Register with what? No, but register with Twitch. Right?
Yeah.
So you can only see people who are logged.
Well, these videos will be available on YouTube, so it's good for archiving purposes.
Yeah, just check out our YouTube page. All the links are in the description below.
So Glenn's hand looks pretty solid. An interesting choice to bring in the Engineer Explosives on his part. Since your decks are so similar, it's not going to get you that much traction.
You tend to blow out your own stuff as well. Yeah. But now if you're running
and now that he has Gitaxian Probe, he gets to see what's going on in his opponent's hand.
Damn.
But the upside for Glenn is that he has a very stable mana in terms of his draw.
Yeah, right now he's got at least 3 lands and 1 2 lands and 1
Wasteland
and the Deathrite Shaman as well. So Michael might be, needs to be patient, and I think taking out the Deathrite Shaman here would be okay, but I don't think
he's not necessary. Taking anything out because it's a Gitaxian
Probe. It's a Gitaxian Probe, but I mean, like, making sure
maybe he draws a Therapy, you mean?
Therapy or Lightning Bolt.
He's drawn Dismember. So he's going to pass with... so rough. I guess... he's going for the Wasteland. He's forcing the Brainstorm.
Damn.
So poor Michael drawing double Wasteland and Brainstorm locking himself. So at least he's only gonna draw 1 turn worth of blanks, and this way he's gonna be able to lay a Wasteland and leave Dismember up. So that's not so bad, all things considered. But still not ideal. I think he fully anticipated Glenn would lead with land death, right?
Yeah, but
yeah,
that was very interesting. That was
curveball. Yeah. Sometimes you can tell based on the way, like, I guess if you're in Glenn's position, the fact that your opponent cycled his second Gitaxian Probe for no real value could be a bit of a sign that he's
looking for mana light.
And passing without playing as the Death Ride zone, just gives you added points to
I would not read that. I was like, okay, draw an extra card. That's cool. Power up your Gurmag Angler.
I mean, it's very arguable. I don't think it's spot on because I think there's a chance that your opponent has,
all the lands in hand, like.
Or he's just looking for a Cabal Therapy. He's looking for a Death Ride of his own. But yeah, so he's gonna play Wasteland, and I think if I might here, I like wasting your opponent's land, which. Could be heads up on Glenn's part. He fetched the green source because he knows this game he's not gonna need it. So if opponent has one wasteland, but he didn't see the wastelands off the. He doesn't know anything about Michael's current hand. Yep. So Glenn fetching, going to 18. Probably gonna deploy his second Death Ride.
Oh, he has a second Death Ride in hand.
I believe so. I believe that was his draw for this turn. Oh, his draw for this turn was Polluted Delta.
No, didn't he have two Polluted Deltas in hand at the beginning of the game?
Oh, he has one more in his hand now.
Yeah. So he had two Polluted Deltas.
There's two in the graveyard.
Wasteland, yeah. Oh, he's got still one more in hand.
I think he's got one more in his hand, which is matching up very well against his opponent's draw. No Delta.
Okay, so
but second Death Ride is here.
I think he can just play the
Death
Ride
which is why he's getting the Underground Sea.
Yeah.
I think you might be tempted to play Ponder though, just to set up the next few turns.
Okay. No, I don't know. I think I would have just played the Death Ride, knowing that your opponent, knowing that you might whiff off lands on the top 3 cards. Oh, but you get to shuffle. And your opponent's just probably gonna wasteland you.
I agree with you. I prefer the Death Ride play because then the opponent has to have 2 cards. He has to use the wasteland that's in play and have a land to cast a lightning bolt or some kind of removal spell.
And even if he's got a Dismember, he's taking taking a bit of.
He's got Dismember, then it's just another chunk out of his life total.
Which means that your lightning bolts become ever more deadly.
So this is also, if you're Michael, you can read into Glenn's play and realize that he doesn't have lands. And this wasteland will probably be an easy choice for you. You want a game to go long anyway.
Okay.
So this is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the best part of Legacy where no one has any lands.
Team Chambaleros in the house.
Chambaleros apparently means lucky.
Oh, okay.
Lucky in Pinoy. But they have a T-shirt. Actually, I think you can see his Michael wearing it. It's yeah. It's in Tagalog. It means lucky. yeah.
It means top deck king, right?
Or something like that. Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
So Michael rips the fetch to find Underground Sea.
And Glenn
as well. And Glenn had a great start. Glenn. And it looked like for a while Michael was on the rocks because he couldn't find a land. And now Glenn is suffering from the same problem. I wonder if he had gone with the Death Ride. I think if he went with the Death Ride play,
it wouldn't have been an issue right now.
Very different. Yeah. He's discarding Dark Blast. I think if I'm in Glenn's position, I choose not to discard Dark Blast. I discard a Lightning Bolt or something else because I don't want to give any information away to my opponent. I'm odds on going to lose this game.
Okay, that's true.
I'm odds on going to lose this game, so you should just
don't
keep
discard your sideboard cards. Yeah.
Especially since my opponent is going to be able to alter or make his hand look a lot. Makes his hand look a lot better. Makes his hand look a lot smoother. I don't think there's a chance that you win this game with this much being so far behind, down to 5/5 and 2 lands.
Wow, and that's nice. Michael here able to brainstorm into another
fetch land.
Fetch land. Getting rid of his 2 useless cards, which I did not see what went back onto the top of the library.
I think he put back a Pyroblast.
Okay, that's not going to be... Well, that's still useful, but right now, Glenn doesn't have any mana, which means that
I think Glenn's going to scoop. Yeah, and he shouldn't be discarding his sideboard cards.
Why?
Because he is losing this game. All he's trying to do is just get more information out of Michael and minimize the amount of information that he's leaking. So now Michael knows about 2 separate cards,
which he did not see in the first game.
Yeah. So sometimes it's tempting when you're losing, not drawing lands, especially when you're losing to not drawing lands, to discard the cards that you brought in, right? And you're like, this was a bad choice. I shouldn't have done this.
Really?
Yeah, it's tilt. I mean, there's people.
Yeah, you go on tilt just slightly.
So Mike actually has lethal, right? Because he has. Oh, he finds another copy of. What is
that? Oh,
Pyroblast. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought if he had a bolt, he has more than enough. But I think he still has lethal next turn with the Death Ray activation and the Folk Bolt that's in his hand.
Yeah.
And
just Pyroblast.
way too late, Glenn finding Anagrasi. Yeah. If it was a bolt, I think he might still have a chance.
He can get rid of the Death Ray Shaman.
He's like basically in like Charm Block Abyss mode by throwing. He has to throw guys in front of the angler at that point. Yeah, huge in this matchup.
Can he take one more point from the angler? I don't think so, right? He can take one more hit from the angler.
He doesn't know that he can't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know that his opponent has a Folk Bolt in his hand.
Oh, but that's the thing. If Michael had the Lightning Bolt, he wouldn't Lightning Bolt the Death Ray Shaman. Right?
Yeah, I think you can just attack. Because then you wanna maintain as much material, and you don't want to show your opponent that you have Folk Bolts, so he's more willing to commit. He's just gonna show him the Folk Bolt. He's gonna crash in for 5, and I guess in this regard, he's gonna be able to shut off any fetches on Glenn's part.
Man, at this point,
I think you're so far ahead. You just want to manage the information that you give away.
I would just ponder, try to look for that Lightning Bolt, and finish off my opponent.
Really? Okay.
At this point,
but you don't have. Oh, you have red.
You have red
off the Death Ray.
So I usually, me as a risk-averse player, especially when it comes to like mulligans. I don't keep hands with like one land and then I hope to draw off stuff. But somewhere throughout the game, like you just throw caution to the wind.
I actually think this is the bad situation to do that, because you're so far ahead. You don't need to waste like you if nothing miraculous happens on Glenn's part, you're gonna win. Like he's drawn a fetch. This fetch is essentially useless because he has a Death Right in play.
Yeah, so he can't.
He's just gonna Death Right at the end of turn and Death Right on his turn and Glenn's dead.
And then that's it. Yeah. That's the end of the game.
He could attack with Death Right Shaman if he wanted to. That's how much ahead Michael is right now.
Ouch. Okay, so
he's going to fetch. Wait, what? What's going on?
Oh, he might have something to eat up cards in his graveyard?
No, but isn't Michael dead? Isn't Glenn dead to the 2 damage from...
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, the Dark Blast. Oh yeah, okay.
I'm glad they figured it out before we had to intervene, because...
Players realizing that, oh yes.
Yeah. So I think Mike, some questionable decisions. Choosing to show the Dark Blast.
Well, I think the
explosives themselves in this matchup, I don't think are that great.
It's not good. Yeah. So one the explosives definitely should go out, but I think I would have just let off with the Death Right Shaman. I think in Glenn's position earlier, you should just get your mana, get your board presence going, get your mana base going.
I think what was really crucial was him missing failing to play that Death Right and missing on that sort of missing on that ponder.
Yeah, he didn't know that he didn't know that Michael had
Michael had a wasteland though. It wasn't.
He had a wasteland, and he also had the
so it was on the board.
Dismember.
Yeah. So no, but that was the turn after that. After he dismembered. And he used the wasteland.
Correct.
And he laid a second wasteland.
He had a second dismember in hand.
He had a second dismember?
Yeah, if I recall correctly. So, but at that point of time, like on the board, you already know that your opponent's probably going to strip you of lands. The fact that the previous 2 turns you weren't able to, pop up lands for...
Interesting, he started out his Young Pyromancers. I don't think it's a card that ever leaves this matchup.
To try to go white?
Is that why he brought in the explosives? Because...
That actually could be a reason, but you have to cast your explosives off.
If you think this game is going to be about the amount of... It's like a grind fest. Tempo, and then when it's not based on tempo, it's about material, then Young Pyromancer is one of the best ways to get additional material for no real cost, right?
Yeah.
Get additional cards.
Oh, right.
Essentially.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I think Glenn trying to over sideboard maybe. Like
over sideboard.
Yeah, there's sometimes people get tempted to putting cards that aren't that good in a matchup or that aren't that because they think that because I have a side, it's like how do I put it? It's like
this is a better.
Yeah.
This is better for my deck.
It's confirmation bias. You look at your sideboard and you think, okay, I have all these cards. Which of these cards is good in this matchup? We're not thinking about the deck as a whole.
And how these cards interact with the rest of the deck
as a 75 instead of looking at a straight 15 and thinking, okay, this card is good, this card is bad.
So I'm guessing Glenn's taking out for the
taking out the forces, definitely.
Okay, yeah, the forces,
you don't want a 2-for-1 yourself.
Exactly, won't be that useful.
So this is a
the
amazing
fact that he has
hand.
Bolts, why does he take out the
young Pyromancers?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
This is an amazing
You have a
hand.
way to deal with his young Pyromancers,
and this is an amazing hand. But I think Glenn is playing it so scared because of the way he lost the last game. So he instead of going land into Deathrite Shaman, he's playing it. He's trying to set up more land draws. He's trying to set up draws where he's not gonna. You can see him. He's gonna go shuffle. Even though he saw some of the best cards in his deck in this matchup, the young Pyromancers.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a real pity. If he had gone, I mean, obviously,
Deathrite Shaman and just just be patient and
or just be patient or force your opponent to play behind. He's basically behind one turn, right? This is not how you would want to play when you have the initiative. But drawing a third land is going to be helpful. And with the Fog Bolt, Glenn can get a little bit greedy. Hope his opponent doesn't flip. Get a young Pyromancer into play. But he has Pyroblast, so I think he's really, really covered on that front in all regards. And is he going to be super... Oh, okay.
Okay, so he goes for it.
I don't like this. I think if I'm Glenn, I use the Pyroblast.
You want
Because the Pyroblast is a lot more situational. The Football helps you clear out Pyromancer and a token. Helps you clear out your opponent's Deathrite Shaman.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
interesting decision.
Yeah. And Football teamed up with Lightning Bolt gets to kill Gurmag Angler. Whereas Pyroblast, it does nothing.
Oh yeah, Fogbolt deals 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I keep thinking of Fogbolt as the new dual shot.
As
in I
2 mana dual shot.
No, 1 mana it pings 2 creatures.
Right.
Yeah, Fogbolt actually is 1 mana can ping the same creature. So.
Yeah. So Michael has his own Dark Blast, but no way to cast it for now. So he's definitely gonna play this Ponder. I think he's just choosing between playing Ponder or a Lightning Bolt that's in his hand on this opponent's deck, right? No, it's not a Lightning Bolt, it's a Pyroblast. So this is Ponder. And Glenn, interestingly, has the Dazes in this matchup, but chooses not to. Chooses not to go for the Daze. I think I definitely Daze here. Because you just have
you have
lead.
control already.
Yeah, you have you're ahead on your opponent.
Yeah, you have your Deathrite Shaman. You can go off on extra piece of mana next turn, even though
I think his only concerns are something like Pyromancer next turn.
Daze hits everything, right?
Daze still hits the Pyromancer next turn. I mean next turn when he untaps and lays the third land, for example.
Oh yeah.
But you actually decent against Pyromancer with Deathrite Shaman in play. Because there's a 1-2.
Right, you can just keep going.
Yeah, Michael missing a land and Glenn's Daze looking pretty good right now. So now he gets to play the interesting combination of I don't like this. If I'm Michael, but of course you find the Wasteland, so
handsome.
Yeah, why so handsome? So if you're Glenn, it's definitely Wasteland on top, followed by Dark Blast, followed by Young Pyromancer, right? Because then you cast the Delver,
just strip
your opponent's land. But I don't know if he feels that way about things. And then he even has the Deathrite to play
to eat opponent's land.
To eat opponent's land, so he can play the Delver, so he has Pyroblast backup for whatever is about to happen. He's gonna waste. So this game is gonna be over very quickly. No. Okay.
Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's marginal, the difference. Okay. It represents different things. But I think it's better if your opponent's set of plays involves wasting your Volcanic Island instead of killing your Deathrite and then playing something.
Right. Okay.
That's my argument at least. But when your opponent's discarding,
Michael doesn't draw any lands.
Flipping a Dark Blast when your opponent has no lands.
Natural flip, by the way.
Oh no, Ponder.
Oh, that was a Ponder.
He said the Ponder.
Right, yeah, he pondered up. Okay.
So not gonna matter too much. And with Deathrite active, this game is
should be over very very
soon.
soon.
Be over. This days is gonna look amazing right here.
Come on.
Because Glenn is gonna be able to
just pay for it, right?
Glenn's gonna be able to fetch for Underground C and drain his opponent, and then bounce the Underground C.
Yeah.
Should he draw a Brainstorm, he's gonna have the option of replaying it. You know, if he draws another land, he doesn't care to lay a land anyway because he doesn't need 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I think
He's gonna eat up a sorcery right now. The Ponder.
he's gonna daze it. Yes, and even if he fights Overforce, Glenn has it covered with a Pyroblast in his hand. I'd be surprised if Forces are still in the deck. But, you know.
Yeah,
you never
Force
know.
In this matchup, well, Force in this matchup kind of seems very awkward because
So now you cast the Pyromancer with your mana, right?
Yeah.
Because you can leave.
Oh, okay.
Wow, you can leave open everything. Deathrite activation, Dark Blast, and Pyroblast. But he chooses not to. He's worried about. What is he worried about? Rough and Tumble? No, it doesn't kill the. He's worried about Pyroclasm. I suppose
a possibility.
Out of another Delver deck. Yep. Martin's gonna shuffle.
Does he want the lands? No,
he wants one land, so he's gonna draw this fetch.
All right,
play
so
the fetch.
Play the fetch. Then you can.
I don't know if it's gonna be enough. I don't know if it's gonna be enough though. He's gonna get.
You need something.
Hopefully,
to
he has bolt.
Away, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, this matchup, you can kind of reduce it to the turns that you need to double spell, which means you need to play something and kill something, or you need to play 2 threats. Here he has a bolt.
Just bolt it, man.
So I think you do it now before any shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's gonna go with the Delver. It's interesting. Delver does represent 1 extra point of damage, but the Deathrite means that his Dark Blast is in and out. A second Black Source is in and out. So if he has a second Black Source, he can go Dark Blast in my upkeep, draw for my turn,
and Dark Blast it again
in my draw step.
Okay. Right. But he's only got he has to without the Deathrite Shaman he doesn't.
Yeah, he has to kill the Deathrite first if that's the case.
Yeah.
So I think before you play any creatures, you get rid of that. You get rid of the Young Pyromancer. So that's the easy part.
Okay.
It's whether or not I think Glenn is gonna go with Lightning Bolt to the head, get a 1/1. But I think he loses out 2 damage that way, which is gonna pay itself off in okay. If I'm Glenn,
so he's trying to get rid of the.
he's gonna eat a land. He's gonna bolt his opponent to put a 1/1 into play.
Okay, so he gets a 1/1 out of it.
He might even, if you're Glenn, cast Dark Blast on your own Deathrite Shaman to get another 1/1 out of it. Right, because it puts your opponent to 5. Then you attack your opponent down to attack down your opponent down to 3 next turn, and then you can drain him with your Deathrite.
Oh yeah.
So he can't use that fetch land that's in play.
That's right.
But I don't think Glenn's gonna be able to see that. So
well, that's 2.
That's fine.
Points. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Put your opponent to 5. Put your opponent to 3.
3.
Activate your Deathrite. Threaten to activate Deathrite next turn.
And then puts him.
It does lose. It is worse, slightly worse against a Ponder, because that way you're gonna get the Dark Blast back.
Oh man, he chooses not to get the Dark Blast.
He chooses not to get the Dark Blast back. It's interesting.
Of the.
He has Pyroblast, which has been. Oh wait, no, that's the Chain Lightning. He's got Chain Lightning in his hand.
Oh nice. Okay, so
he's gonna be able to chain, and because he forced the action earlier with the Dark Blast, Glenn's not gonna be able to chain back because he gets to chain back.
Damn it! Why?
It's no fun. But he's still gonna fall to 3. And here's where I think, as Glenn, you rue your missed opportunity to put another 1/1 into play. At some point, 1 mana, put a 1/1 and 1/1 in play. It's okay. Oh, but Glenn drawing an amazing card in this situation. 15 life ahead of his opponent, he's gonna be able to cast Painful Truths for 3.
Oh, sure, man.
And with Martin tapped out, and presumably because he's on the draw, he doesn't have his Dazers in his deck. I don't think Michael is winning this game.
Man, this is.
I mean, he could, and this is why the Young Pyromancer is so good, because
he didn't take back the Dark Blast. Why? Come on, man.
I think he's okay because he's got his own.
Yeah, he's got a Young Pyromancer. He can brainstorm and get back the 1/1.
The interaction with Dark Blast and Brainstorm is amazing though, because you can put back cards you don't want and then dredge it in your draw step.
Dredge it and then just you can fire off the Dark Blast at each point of.
You can't. Because you have to resolve all of Brainstorm before you. It's not discrete. It's not like that three sets of.
The triggers go on this time.
Yeah.
It's a replacement effect.
It's
instead of drawing, you put it back in your hand. Yeah, but you have to resolve
Brainstorm as a whole.
Total, yeah.
So he's gonna cast Pyroblast on the Brainstorm, but he's still gonna get a 1/1 token.
Mm-hmm.
And here you see Michael. I mean, Michael is he has infinite resources. So I don't think Glenn has infinite resources, and I don't think Michael's gonna win this game.
He just needs a lightning bolt. Come on, man.
But I don't even think you need lightning bolt. I think the game's over. The game was over when he resolved it. The game was over before. It was over way before. I think, and it was even more over when he resolved the painful truths. And this is just playing it out to his conclusion. The Daze is not going to be as good anymore. Actually, you might still keep the Daze here. That's the only card that really matters. Is anything that lets just Michael double spell next turn. Mm-hmm. He's not even attacking with the
1/1. No, he
the
can't
1/1 because he wants to dredge back, dredge next turn and kill the 1/1 and then attack. So, is Michael going to find a way back into this game because his opponent is just sitting back instead of pressing the advantage when he should be?
Well, he's gonna cast the Daze?
He's gonna Daze. This is odd. He's casting the Daze. I can see why he wants to save his red land from Wasteland, so that whenever he draws Bolt, he's gonna be able to.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
He's gonna get a somewhat live draw because he's gonna be able to dredge. If he doesn't want the 2 cards on top of his library, he's gonna be able to dredge them away.
And he's got Vendilion Clique in hand, which means that he can go off
which
turn to affect basically what Michael draws. Wow, this is just an uphill battle for Michael.
If Michael wins this, I will buy him a drink.
This is Glenn's game to lose.
Yeah, this is definitely Glenn's game to lose. Oh, but with Cabal Therapy, that's one of the ways to get back into it. Oh, wow.
Okay.
This is happening.
What were we saying?
I need to buy him a drink soon, I think. This is amazing. Glenn could close this game out so many other ways. But now... taking away the Vendilion Clique. And Michael still has access to his Dark Blast.
No, take back the Dark Blast.
Oh, wow.
But is that a...
No, Michael chooses not to dredge the Dark Blast and instead draw the dead Gurmak Angler. Yeah. But because he has Dark Blast in his hand... Oh, wow.
So he gets back the Dark Blast. Which I hope should prompt Glenn that he can get back his Dark Blast. I have a feeling that
he can't cast it though.
Right, he's got no black mana now. Oh, right, okay.
So if you're Glenn and this is okay. So he put of course he put a Brainstorm at the
right at the bottom of those 3 cards, right?
Right at the bottom of those 3 cards. He's gonna be able to put away. I think
just put the 2 lands behind. Just put the 2 lands back.
I think you can put a land below and put a Dismember on top.
Is the Dismember gonna be useful?
It means that you can float it. So next turn, if you draw the land, then you have a choice. You can leave the Dismember on top of your deck. If you need the Dismember to kill your opponent with the Gurmak Angler, then you draw. You don't fetch.
Right. Okay,
but if you don't need it or you want to find something else, but I think he chooses to go with the. I don't know. I think people don't think about fetches as much as they should. I think people, like, the other day we were playing Vintage, and Cass said, oh yeah, I cracked 3 of my fetches, and I tried to reduce the number of lands that were in my deck, and my Delver didn't flip. And I said, dude, you can actually stack your Delver trigger,
and then
and choose which card you want, cards you want to draw. And mathematically that tends to work out a lot better.
Yeah, that was what Xavier was doing, one of our WMCQ.
Oh yeah.
Our representatives for Singapore. That's what he was doing. Which cost him a game rule violation, by the way.
Oh, because he rearranged the order of his graveyard.
No, because it came up, he flipped it.
Yeah.
Did not want to draw, I think, one of the cards on top of his deck. Then he thought scoured himself, so he went into the graveyard. He drew for that thought scour, but he forgot to draw for his turn. And then I was sitting right there, so I was judging, and I had to.
So see, here's where he should have kept the. He should have kept the Dismember. It's not going to matter because he has a Dark Blast. But he's already shown that he doesn't know. He might not know that there's a Dark Blast.
Yeah,
but imagine if this was another Angler. If you had that Dismember on top of your deck. He's going to remember now.
Right.
If you had the Dismember on top of your deck and you had a fetch land in play, you could choose between, Yep, he has a Dark Blast.
You could choose between the Dark Blast or the Dismember, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay,
I won't, yeah.
Good draws, good plays.
Played by Glenn and
Michael.
Hard luck to Michael. I think he was at one point he was turning the corner. I don't think he was ever favored to win at 3 Live. And he drawn a death right. I think it would have been okay.
Yeah, but it was uphill, man. Like, he was always on the back foot throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Glenn setting up a bit unorthodox, I think, at the beginning of the match, but able to pull out the win.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're gonna put on some.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on a replay of our previous Legacy challenge so that everybody keeps watching Legacy today. If you like the shows that we do, remember you can join us on Tuesday and Wednesday and sometimes Thursday nights. So Tuesday we do standard, Wednesday we do modern, and Thursday sometimes we do playtest vintage. Well, vintage players in Singapore, there are quite a lot, but yeah, it's there's a lot of things like that take up your time. But we love playing vintage, and I love watching vintage, by the way, because it's just so crazy. Anyway, if you want to check out our other the other events that we run, make sure you follow our Facebook page and make sure you follow this Twitch channel. The links are all in the description below. And finally, before I go off and show you a replay, go listen to our partners, the Power 9 Podcast. They're the ones who help us do the stream each and every week. So yeah, this week we talk about the story so far, and it's quite sweet. So yeah, we'll catch you guys in a short while. See ya.